Since we said that the center of mass is really just the average of a system of particles, let's do a quick review and look at how we calculate averages. So imagine we have a set of scores from a test. So we have 60, 55, 40, 60, 30, 40, 55, and 60. So, well, first of all, let's hope none of us were actually in on this test because nobody did very well on it. But how would we calculate the average score? Well, we would add all of the scores together, and then we divide by the total number of scores. So in this case we would get 400 over 8, which is about 50. So once again, not very good. And so remember that 8 is the total number of scores. Okay. Now let's look at doing this another way. Another way that we could calculate the exact same average, but instead of having to sum each one, is we could look at 60, and we could see that 60 appears 3 times. So in other words, we can have 3 times 60. 55 appears twice, so we could have 2 times 55. 40 appears twice, so we would have 2 times 40. And 30 just appears a single time. So we can divide that once again by the total number of scores. And if we calculated that out, we'd see the same thing, that we would get 50. Now these numbers, this 3, 2, 2, and really here we would have a 1. It's just the 1 is kind of implicit. We call these the weights. So because 60 appears 3 times, it has a weight of 3. 55 appears twice, it has a weight of 2. 40 appears twice, it has a weight of 2. 30 appears once, it has a weight of 1, and we don't even bother to write it. So if we say that the weight is W, which is 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, we see that equals 8. Well, that's the same thing as the total number of scores. So in other words, let's say we have some number x. Its average is the weight of x1 times x1. So in this case it would be 3 would be weight 1, 60 would be x1. Weight 2 times x2. So 2 would be weight 2, 55 would be x2. And we do this for all n of our numbers, and then we divide by n. Actually, I'm sorry, we don't divide by n. Actually, what we divide by is w, where w is equal to the weight of the first plus the weight of the second, all the way through, plus wn. So in general, w is going to be larger than n, because each number is going to appear at least once. Some of them can appear more than once. So this is what we call a weighted average, and this is the kind of average that we usually deal with when we're talking about averages. And now that we know what a weighted average is, we're going to use this so that we can figure out how we calculate the center of mass, knowing that it's some type of average of the position of a system.